Astral Radiance is almost here, and with that, it comes brand new decks. This is basically the main deck that I've been testing for this format, and I figured I would share it with everybody. Hisuian Samurott V is a very big powerhouse because its main attack can knock out Mew VMAX for 2 energy, and it can set up Yoga Loop plays, though that's not something that I'm playing in this deck, because deck space is very tight in this deck, and finding the space for Metacham and 1 or 2 Double Turbo or Rapid Strike energy is very difficult, for me at least. If you can find it, good on you. I just can't find the space, though I would like to try it out. Now, as for what I have in this deck, it's the typical VStar lineup: 4 Samurott V, 3 Samurott VStar. Samurott V is not to be underestimated, as for 1 energy, it can discard 2 cards, 2 tool cards attached to your opponent's Pokemon in play. Might be a bit difficult to see. And for 3 energy, 180, and discard energy attached to this Pokemon. This can come in a pinch if you get knocked out and you have nothing else in play. I have used it in testing, and it helps a lot. As for Samurott V-Star, 270 HP, V-Star Pokemon, 2 energy, 110 damage, but if your opponent's active has any damage counters on it, you do 220 damage. As for the V-Star power, what it does is you put 4 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon, on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and you can only use the power once per game. This is a good way to set up any Pokemon in a pinch if you don't have Zigzagoon, if you don't have Inteleon. As for supporting Pokemon, as I said, we have the Inteleon line, and that comes with 4 copies of Sobble, 4 Drizzile, and for the Inteleon split, we have 3 Quick Shooting, 1 Shady Dealing. Now, you may be wondering, why do you play 3 Quick Shooting, 1 Shady Dealing, instead of the typical 2-1, or as some recent lists have been doing, 1 and 1? It should be fairly obvious, but this requires damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. Inteleon is a good way to get that with consistency from Drizzile. And also just Inteleon is the best engine right now, so why wouldn't we play it, even if our attack did not rely on damage counters. And playing the full 4 line is pretty unique, as, like I said, lists are cutting down to very few Inteleons. Another consistent way to get damage counters, Galarian Zigzagoon, 2 of them. The reason you play 2 instead of just 1, prizing. If one of these cards is prized, if you only play 1 and one of them is prized, have fun getting knockouts, because you are not going to be able to do that so easily with just Inteleons and your once per game V-Star power. There is one more Pokemon in the deck, and it is new. It is a new mechanic from Astral Radiance. Radiant Pokemon. These Pokemon are so strong that you can only have 1 Radiant Pokemon in your deck. Basically think of them like A-Specs from Black and White, or if you're even older playing the game, Gold Star Pokemon. The one that we play in this deck is Hawlucha. The reason we play Radiant Hawlucha, 90 HP, level ball searchable, which is very nice, and also 30 more damage to VMAXs. Yes, you already one-hit KO Mew, but with Inteleon pings and your V-Star power, you can knock out stuff like Urshifu VMAX, you can knock out Eternatus VMAX if that ever sees play again, but it's mainly for Urshifu because that's the only other VMAX that's seen play. If Urshifu declines in play, you could potentially swap this out for probably Greninja, though you only play like 8 energy in the deck, so it's not really the best, but combining with Dark Patch is pretty good. So it's in between Hawlucha and Greninja. Pick your poison. Both work. Trainer counts. For search options, we have typical, 4 Quick Ball. We have 3 Level Ball, 2 Evolution Incense, and 2 Ultra Ball. For Quick Ball, you want to search out your basics so Mew doesn't do Mew things to you, because yes, even though you are a Dark type deck, Mew can still run through you if you don't get set up. It hurts, I know. Level Ball searches out your Drizzile, searches out your Sobble, searches out your Zigzagoon, searches out your Hawlucha. If I were to change something, I would probably cut 1 Ultra Ball for 4th Level Ball, but Ultra Ball is very versatile in this deck, and you need to discard Dark Energy for Dark Patch, so choose how you want to do the ball split, however you like. Speaking of Dark Patch, 3 copies. Yes, this is a very old print from 2012, but Astral Radiance has brought this back, and it is a very welcome card indeed. Attaching a basic dark from your discard to one of your benched Pokemon is very, very strong. And if anybody was playing during the early Sword and Shield era, you will know how good Metal Saucer was. This card was even better when it first got printed, and now it's back. On to more items. We have 3 copies of Scoop Up Net. This allows you to reuse your Inteleons. This allows you to reuse your Drizziles. And you can also scoop up Hawlucha if you need that extra bench space, because it is not a V, it is not a GX. One more item card, and this is our only tool in the deck. 2 copies of Choice Belt, because it is very helpful with math fixing against Vs, almost said GXs, against Vs like Urshifu, like Zacian, if any, and any other Vs that are in format. It also helps against big charm stuff, so it's very, very good. And it's essentially a staple in every deck. Supporter cards. We have 2 copies of Research, because it is an Inteleon deck. You don't want to be throwing away all of your stuff. I might go down to 1 copy, because it's just, you don't want to throw out all of your stuff in Inteleon decks. We play 2 copies of Marnie for Disruption. I might swap 1 Marnie, 1 Roxanne, but that's still up for debate, because both cards are really good. And Roxanne is basically our only comeback card. Marnie is not that strong for a comeback. It's good early game, not so much late game. 2 copies of Boss's Orders. You are very heavily one-hit KOing the format with the right math. So Boss's Orders is not really too needed, but it's nice to pick off some easy KOs for late game. And it's just very nice to have Boss's Orders all around because of the gusting effect. And then for 1-0 supporters, we have 1 copy of Raihan. If you get knocked out and you don't have a way to pivot, you don't have a Scoop Up Net, you don't have an energy already attached, you just go Raihan to a Samurott, attach return, and there's your 220. Well, 110. But you likely already have damage on your opponent's active anyway, so why is the 110 really there? And a 1-of copy that I personally enjoy in Inteleon decks, and I really hope people are not sleeping on this. 1 copy of Irida. What Irida says is you may search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card. So basically what you would do is you have Sobble in play, you would play Irida, search for Drizzile, search for an item card. You basically turned your Drizzile into a makeshift Inteleon, and it only costed your supporter for turn. This deck doesn't really care about that because, like I said, you are one-shotting a lot in the format. Now, as you know, this deck relies on placing damage counters with Inteleon, with Samurott, with Galarian Zigzagoon. But Fusion Strike Energy prevents all of that because it prevents effects of abilities. How do we beat the Mew matchup? I've been saying that it is a pretty positive matchup, but how do you do that? Temple of Sinnoh. For those who know Dusknoir from Vivid Voltage, this is that ability on a Stadium card, which means Fusion Strike Energy does not block it. So Fusion Strike Energy becomes 1 colorless, and it has no effect. The exact wording of this is all special energy in play attached to both your and your opponent's, attached to your Pokemon and your opponent's Pokemon, provide 1 colorless energy and no additional effect. So it turns Fusion Strike Energy into a colorless energy, which allows you to do Zigzagoon plays, Inteleon plays, and Samurott plays. That's it for trainer cards, and for energy cards we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 energy. 8 dark energy feels pretty solid. It's not too much, it's not too little, and it's pretty good because you discard the energy for a dark patch with Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, Research, and just hard retreating if that need be. And also Scoop Up Net if it's already attached to a Pokemon. But 8 energy feels pretty solid. You draw into it at the right time. I would probably include a 9th or a energy search so you can get it off Irida, get it off Drizzile, get it off Inteleon, whichever. But I feel like 8 energy is a perfect amount right now, so it just seems right. But like I said, if I had to make any changes to this deck right now, I would probably swap out to a 1-1 Marnie Roxanne count, and maybe switch out Ultra Ball for a 4th level ball because you have so many search outs for that. But this is the 60 right now, and it's what I've been testing for Astral Radiance, and probably going to be my main deck if Arceus or if Urshifu does not turn out to be very good in that format. So that is going to be it for now. Thank you very much for watching this little deck profile of mine for Astral Radiance, and I know a lot of people are testing it right now because It is going to be the format for the North American International Championships, which everybody's excited for, as it is basically the biggest event for Pokemon that is not the World Championships, and I am very excited for that. I know a lot of my friends are excited for that, and I am excited to see everybody there once again. Thank you all very much for watching, and I hope you all have a very good day.